Good morning. I'm Bob Winkley. I'm a member of the First Church in Boston Choral Ensemble, as well as the Standing Committee, which is the governing body of this church. We're really glad that you're here with us, either online or in person here in our sanctuary, which is one of the great venues here in Boston. I want to extend a very special welcome to any visitors today, whether you're visiting for the first time or if you've been visiting several times, perhaps looking for a church. If you want to learn more about First Church in Boston or about Unitarian Universalism, please visit firstchurchboston.org or speak with Reverend Stephanie, our intern, Ebony Smith Cooper, or myself during the coffee hour. Coffee hour will take place immediately after the service in the narthex. Just a couple of announcements today. Our intern Ebony will be leading a workshop on comedy improv this afternoon at 12:30, beginning at 12:30 in the auditorium. And you're invited to explore the art of comedy through group games and creative play, and no experience is necessary. Next week, in anticipation of World AIDS Day on December 1st, our intern minister John Newhall will lead a group from First Church Boston to the march from City Hall to Boston Center of the Arts as part of the March to End HIV Stigma. There's no sign-up necessary. If you have any questions, please reach out to John at john@firstchurchboston.org. Thank you again for being here today. Let our service now begin.
I doff my hat to you, my friends. 'Tis a very unusual day we have today. E.E. Cummings once said, "The most wasted of all days is one without laughter." So today we are going to laugh. That's the plan. Oh, you're laughing already. It's working. It's working. It must be the hat. That's the plan. Laughing is free. It's contagious. And the power to even lift the heaviest of hearts. It has this wonderful gift. The best medicine for the soul, they say. Laughter is one of life's greatest joys. And sometimes our lives are full of twists and turns and sadnesses. So don't get uncomfortable there, because all we can do is laugh. It's the best medicine for the soul. We've mixed things up this morning, and as a reminder, there can be a bit of fun that's unexpected. So don't be deterred. Life can indeed be hard, tragic, and heartbreaking, and sometimes life is wonderful and joyful and fanciful and funny. So in this hour together, may we be reminded of the gifts of comedy. Now, we would like, as our service begins, I would invite you to rise in body, mind, or spirit as we light our chalice, the symbol of Unitarian Universalism, and say together our affirmation printed in our order of service. And just, I hope I don't set my hat on fire. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Please take a moment to look around and greet the person next to you and behind you and in front of you, and wave to the camera and doff your hat.
Our opening hymn is an insert in your order of service. It's on one of the pages called My Religion. There's a new online hymnal of some new music for Unitarian Universalism, and this is one of those songs, and it's just so sweet and fun. So I believe the choir is going to show us the way first, and just keep singing along. We're going to go through it a few times. It's short and sweet, so we're just going to keep singing it till we got it.
My religion is
Please be seated. And we have a very special guest to tell our story today. So I want to invite any kids to come forward, kids at any ages, because this is going to be good. So our beloved sexton, Dan Bash, is telling our story today. And there may be music.
Okay, this is a book with no pictures. Is that all it takes? This is a book with no pictures. It might seem boring, and it might seem like no fun to read a book with no pictures. It probably seems boring and serious, except here's how a book works. Everything the words say, the person reading the book has to say, no matter what. That's the deal, that's the rule. So that means even if the words say blurk, wait, what? That doesn't even mean anything. Blurk, wait a second, what? This isn't the kind of book I wanted to read. And I have to say, every word the book says, uh-oh. I am a monkey who taught myself to read. Hey, I'm not a monkey, and now I am reading you this book with my monkey mouth and my monkey voice. That's not true, I'm not a monkey. Been called one before, but I'm not one. Yes, I am a monkey. Also, I am a robot monkey. What? And my head is made of blueberry pizza. Wait a second, is this book a whole trick? Is this whole book a trick? Can I stop reading, please? Please? No? No? All right. And now it's time, oh God. And now it's time for me to, the Lord's name in vain in church. Oh, okay, Dan. And now it's time for me to sing you my favorite song. A song, do I really have to sing? Gluck, 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 my face is bug. I eat ants for breakfast, right off the rug. This book is ridiculous. Can I stop yet? No? All right. There are more pages? I have to read the rest? My only friend in the whole world is a hippo named Boo Boo Bot. Boo Boo Bot. And also, the kid I'm reading this book to is the best kid ever in the history of the entire world. The best kids. Now that I see two. And these kids are the smartest kids too, because these kids choose this book, and even though it had no pictures, because every kid's book, has pictures, it makes grown-ups say everything that it says, silly things, and make silly sounds like glurkity, glockity, boogity, baggity, gibbity, gubbity, goo, baggity, boogie, biggity, face. Oh my goodness, sorry, that wasn't that great, but I can't even. Please don't ever make me read this book again. It's so silly. In fact, it's completely and utterly preposterous. Next time, please, 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 please choose a book with pictures. Please, because this is just too ridiculous to read. And that's the end. Sorry, Gigi, I just couldn't. I couldn't. Wait, I have something else to say. Oh, they shut me off? I have something else to say. Okay. I just want to thank the Reverend for having me work here, and thank the whole congregation, because it's like my favorite job ever, and I'm 52 years old almost. And so that's all. Thank you. The head of the standing committee,
And we
the
love
head
Dan.
of the trustees, and everybody else.
Let us sing the kids out now. Thank you. And thank you to Dan.
This is not the traditional way to begin a reading, but I feel I must say that is a hard act to follow. So just, shift your minds into, as we move through these realms. Today's reading is Your Laughter Turns the World to Paradise by Jalal al-Din Rumi. Your laughter turns the world to paradise. It tears through me like fire. It teaches me. Reborn in emptiness, I emerge laughing, here to learn from love new depths of laughter. I've been short on courage, but I have a heart of sunlight, straight from the King's hand. I stir up laughter even in those who fear joy. Crack open my shell, steal the pearl. I'll still be laughing. It's the rookies who laugh only when they win. Last night, the spirit of dawn came to my room and gave me a lesson in laughter. Our blazing roars lit the morning sky. When I brood like a rain cloud, laughter flashes through me. It's the habit of lightning to laugh through a storm. Look at the furnace. Look at the stones. See the glowing red veins? Gold, laughing in fire, daring you. Prove you're no fake. Laugh even when you lose. We're fodder for death, so learn to laugh from the angel of death. He laughs at the jeweled belts and crowns of kings. All that splendor's just on loan. Treetop blossoms erupt in laughter. Petals rain down. Laugh like the bud of a flower, hugging the ground. Its hidden smile opens to a laugh that lasts a lifetime.
don't even know what's next. Oh, good. Good. That's Ebony.
I too was confused. My name is Ebony Smith Cooper, and I'm the intern minister here at First Church Boston. And now is the time in worship in which we offer space to turn inward and acknowledge the sacred within us. So today, I invite you to join me in a special kind of prayer, an eyes wide open prayer. Rather than lowering your gaze or closing your eyes, if you are willing and able, please sit up a bit straighter, take a deep breath in, and once again, in and out. And simply pay attention to what you notice around you. In Khalil Gibran's poem on prayer, he writes, "I cannot teach you how to pray in words. God listens not to your words, save when he himself utters them through your lips. And I cannot teach you the prayer of the seas and the forest and the mountains, but you who are born of the mountains and the forest and the seas can find their prayer in your heart, and if you but listen in the stillness of the night, you shall hear them saying in silence, O God, who are our winged self, it is thy will in us that willeth." In the gift of this moment, be idle, linger, pay attention. Notice the good around you, a stream of light, people. Notice the beauty, echoes of the music, the laughter. Notice the fear within and around you, from the uncertainty of whether the arc of the moral universe will begin to bend toward justice, to the question of, am I doing enough? Am I living my values? Also notice the suffering, from the ongoing civil war in Sudan, the Sudanese people who are experiencing famine, genocide, and displacements. The troubles right here at home, those who are often excluded by society, the unhoused, the poor, the sick, and those whose marginalized identities are interpreted as a threat. We see you. Notice the pain, but also notice that all remains that is loving and good. It is our prayer to live with our eyes wide open to these gifts and to the strife, to the resilience, to hope, and to joy that has helped and will continue to carry generations through the fullness of life. Entering now into a moment of stillness, may we rest in this fullness.
wish I was funnier. I love making people laugh. I love to laugh. And yet, how often do we make laughing a deliberate part of our day? How often do we frame laughter as spiritual practice? Did you know that studies suggest children laugh 100 to 200 times a day? That's a lot of laughter. And while adults laugh less, humor is still part of our lives, our culture. So why then is something that is so much a part of our lives, often a good part of our lives, seem to receive so little attention from religious folk looking for sources of meaning? Comedy and laughter are all around us in society. From knock-knock jokes to sophisticated late-night satire, comedy permeates our culture. So what is comedy? Why do we laugh? In his introduction to the book, Ha! The Science of When We Laugh and Why, author Scott Weems explains, Ha! Is about an idea. The idea that humor and its most common symptom, laughter, are byproducts of possessing brains which rely on conflict. Because they constantly deal with confusion or ambiguity, our minds jump the gun, make mistakes, and generally get muddled in their own complexity. But this isn't bad. On the contrary, it provides us adaptability and a constant reason to laugh. So laughing is a byproduct of our muddled thinking. Our brains absorb tremendous amounts of information, and to help us organize all that information, our brains develop patterns and expectations of what should come next. But sometimes what comes next can be unexpected or confusing. Take this joke as an example. David is so modest that he pulls down the shade to change his mind. When you hear the words modesty, shades, and changing, your mind likely jumps to the word clothes. But the joke works because instead of what you expect to hear, you're surprised. It's not only a different word, but a different kind of word, an intangible concept, rather than something material like clothing. Now, having just analyzed a joke, perhaps now is the time to share what E.B. White once said on this subject. Humor can be dissected as a frog can, but the thing dies in the process, and the innards are discouraging to any but the pure scientific mind. So maybe analyzing jokes is not funny, but perhaps it is interesting, even enlightening, to consider why we laugh and what role comedy plays in our lives. What then is humor for? Humor brings us pleasure. It doses our brains with pleasant floods of dopamine, that same chemical that both cocaine and chocolate stimulate. Humor, in this sense, is a medicine that can soothe and renew us, can help smooth over tensions between people, and simply improve our mood. Humor is one of those good parts of life. Humor is also social. Try telling a joke to an empty room and see what kind of response you get. The social nature of humor explains some of why humor can be culture-bound. If humor lives in the muddled thinking of our minds, then we need shared reference points to appreciate those unexpected jumps and connections. A well-timed reference to a certain movie, lyric, or event might be hilarious or simply confound someone who doesn't get it. Finding a friend who does share our sense of humor is a delightful gift. Humor can also teach and critique. Globally, cultures are full of trickster stories that poke fun in ways that challenge our assumptions. Examples include coyote in Native American stories, Brer Rabbit in African American folklore, Loki, the Norse god of mischief, and many more. Storygrid.com explains that the trickster archetype is a character who represents disruption, mischief, and humor. They challenge the status quo, introduce disruption, and remind us that not everything can be controlled or goes according to plan. There's also those classics. Bugs Bunny is one of, there's lots of tricksters out there. Here's an example of a trickster and a coyote story as told by Professor Bill Cohen from the Okanagan Nation. Coyote was watching Eagle one day. He saw Eagle soaring up on drafts near a high cliff at Ashnola. Eagle would swoop down, scream, and then ride the drafts back up, really enjoying himself. So Coyote watches and watches. Then he says to himself, "Those are my ways." In this frame of mind, Coyote climbed all the way up the cliff, all the while watching Eagle and thinking to himself, "Those are my ways." It was hard work, but he was determined to get to the top. Finally, after climbing all day, he got to the top of the cliff. He walked to the edge and jumped off, intending to catch an updraft and soar. With his skinny arms and legs, however, he just plummeted down. He tried frantically to flap his arms and twirl his tail, but nothing helped him fly. He continued to plummet down the sheer cliff face. He became so afraid that he screamed and pooped all the way to the bottom, where he splattered to pieces. A long white streak from the top to the bottom remains on that cliff to help remind us of Coyote's journey. Some time later, Coyote's brother Fox came along. Fox had heard that Coyote's foolishness had caused his death again. Fox carefully gathered up all the bits and pieces of Coyote that he could find, a few hairs, a tooth, a piece of bone, and so on. When Fox was satisfied that he had all the bits it was possible to find, he breathed into the assemblage and then stepped over it 4 times. The pile then transformed itself into Coyote. Coyote sat up, rubbed his eyes, and chastised Fox for waking him up. Coyote said to Fox, "I must have dozed off for a few minutes, and then you're waking me up." Fox just shook his head as Coyote carried on his way as if nothing had happened. Oh my. In assuming Coyote is something he is not, he faces a rather dire consequence. And yet, even when helped by Fox, Coyote remains comically unperturbed by anything other than his nap being cut short. Coyote is both foolish and remarkable in his adaptability and resilience. Through our laughter at Coyote's antics, the story teaches us to respect our limits, the possible source of a white geographic anomaly, and the role of others in our resiliency, all while having some fun. Literary analysis categorizes comedy as stories with happy endings. Without Coyote's resurrection, the story would have a very different feel. As Professor Cohen explains, Coyote has a gift from creation, the ability to transform or overcome people-eating monsters. In a world where we face many dangers, Coyote stories inspire faith in the possibility of creative transformation, of cleverly finding new ways to adapt and thrive. In my mind's eye, I think of humor as a kind of mental and spiritual degreaser. I suspect many of us have experienced the wonder of the degreaser WD-40, right? You confronted with a dirty, rusty object like an old bike chain, a good dose of WD-40 loosens the grime, transforming the links from stuck to shiny and flexible. It's very satisfying, right? So also humor can help us loosen the rigidity of our thinking. Through unexpected juxtapositions and surprising connections, we are reminded that the world is not always as we think it is. We are challenged to remain open to other possibilities. Rather than remaining stuck in the same pathways of thought, humor teaches us a new way to perceive a situation or experience. In other words, humor can be a path to new freedoms. Or as the Sufi poet Rumi writes, your laughter turns the world to paradise. It tears through me like fire. It teaches me. Like a cleansing fire, tricksters, humor, and laughter disrupt our understandings and attachments to what we think we know. Yet as Rumi shows, humor not only destroys old patterns of thought, it also creates joy. He writes, we're fodder for death, so learn to laugh from the angel of death. He laughs at the jeweled belts and crowns of kings, all that splendor's just on loan. Treetop blossoms erupt in laughter, petals rain down. Laugh like the bud of a flower hugging the ground. Its hidden smile opens to a laugh that lasts a lifetime. In Rumi's words, laughter even transforms death into a teacher, reframing the relative importance of wealth and power. As the adage says, you can't take it with you. So laugh at the absurd attempts to hold fast to that which does not last. Laugh instead with the treetop blossoms and the flower buds who delight in their beauty, if only for a moment. Our theme this month pairs comedy and tragedy. And I would be remiss to not acknowledge the entangled presence of both in our lives. And preaching today about comedy, I do not mean to minimize or turn away from all the heartbreaking experiences and tragic injustices happening today. Rather, my hope is that by considering the transformative power of laughter to teach and to renew us, we might better appreciate the role of comedy as a tool of resilience and creativity. Life is too often hard and very, very serious. And life is also wonderful and surprising. I believe there is a place, a need even, for us to remember to laugh and to find joy. Liz James, founder of the UU Hysterical Society, agrees. She writes, so in my line of work, traveling and preaching about the UU Hysterical Society, I keep having the same conversation over and over. Someone will sidle up to me in coffee hour and say, it's important to laugh. I will nod because if there's anyone who values laughter, it's me. We need to keep laughing, even with all the stuff they will say. Especially with all the stuff I will answer. This whole conversation is had in a hushed tone that I imagine is usually reserved for the buying and selling of drugs. You use our earnest people. We care about the world, and when things get serious, our reflex is to get serious as well. I don't buy it. Serious times call for serious measures, but not only serious measures. Laughter and joy are not fancy china to be hauled out only for celebrations. They are for all the times. And times like these, they are more important, not less. In the words of Dan Savage, quote, "During the darkest days of the AIDS crisis, we buried our friends in the morning, we protested in the afternoon, and we danced all night. The dance kept us in the fight because it was the dance we were fighting for. It didn't look like we were going to win, and then we did. It doesn't feel like we're going to win now, but we could. Keep fighting. Keep dancing." And Lynn adds, "I would add, keep laughing." May it be so. Ashe. Amen. Now is our ritual of gratitude, also known as the offering, where you are invited to give your financial gifts to support this congregation. But it is also a moment just to remember all that it takes to be who we are as a community, whether you are here for the first time joining us with your presence or you are here from decades. And as the offering plates go by, another set, that is where you add. And then the second set of plates that Lou and Ebony will bring by is for a slip for you to take. But don't open it yet. Okay. Okay, so my charge today is to laugh. That's the simple version. And my hope is that we will be a congregation that can laugh together, and that humor is part of congregational and religious and spiritual life. So we're going to try to help one another laugh. Those slips of paper are jokes. They are not great jokes. Some are better than others. So I invite you to cluster in groups of 2 or 3 and tell each other jokes. And if you think you have a better joke than what's on that piece of paper, share that one too. But so that's it. Let's take a minute to share jokes. You gonna tell me a joke? Okay. So, have you ever heard of a sound bath? A sound bath. It's a it's like you just like usually they use like singing bowls, a bunch of them in different tones. But I think of this as a sound bath. Just standing here and listening to the sanctuary filled with laughter was beautiful. So thank you. Humor is a gift. Humor can be medicine. May we embrace this gift and use it for good, to build up others and ourselves as we delight in this wonderfully unexpected elements of life that bring us humor. It is also a season of Thanksgiving, and our closing hymn is a classic Thanksgiving hymn because it's that time of year to sing it. So please rise in body or in spirit as we sing together. Hymn 67, we sing now together. join me now as we extinguish the chalice with the words in your order of service. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Sustained by our connections to each other and to all that is holy, let us go and be beyond these walls, engaging across difference, loving and laughing with abundance, and working together for a more just, sustainable, and free world for all. Blessed be Ashe. Amen.